she wouldn't walk or talk, they told us.
He was diagnosed at 2 months old to be severely mentally handicapped.
It's difficult when you first find out that your child has a handicap.
When you say that your child will never be able to swim or to ride a bike, and I just didn't really accept that.
It really didn't take too much research, I suppose, to know that they were significantly less fit than children without mental handicap.
The idea that people with an intellectual disability could be physically active was like a eureka moment.
What we have to do is put those two worlds together, the worlds of people with mental handicap and the sport world.
In ancient Rome, the gladiators went into the arena with these words on their lips: "Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt."
We've been told a child with Down syndrome body had negative buoyancy, and if you put them in a swimming pool, they would sink. I only tell that to give you an idea of the ignorance that everybody had in 1968.
It's still muscle, and it's still heart, and it's still circulation, and it's still determination.
We have proven to the world that we are all great athletes.
Let me win,
Let me win.
but if I cannot win,
But if I cannot win,
let me be brave.
let me be brave.
Let me be brave in the attempt.
Well, you can imagine when something started, it was a brainchild of a great Canadian, Dr. Frank Hayden, where really people with intellectual disabilities were really locked in institutions and really hidden out of sight. See a sport organization now with over 4 million people, 170 countries, 44,000 athletes here in Canada. I'd say we've come a long way.
And today, we are pleased to unveil our first Kia Sorento that will be on the road supporting Special Olympics Canada and its daily competitive sport programs. Gentlemen.
Well, we just did the unveiling of the vehicles that they're providing to Special Olympic programs across the country. That in itself is going to be a huge difference maker. But on top of that, all of the volunteer time that they're going to give us and other fundraising activities that they're going to give us, it's no doubt that Kia will change things across Canada.
Why not put some of the best athletes in the world and the best vehicles in the world? And there's so much we can do. I think as a brand, as a entire organization, from Mr. Yoon, our president, who's been very supportive of this, right down to any support and contract staff, everybody's around this, and I think we'll be some of the biggest champions of getting this movement of inclusion throughout Canada. And for our dealers, they're in every community, you know, our 190 dealers nationally, and there's a Special Olympics division in every community where we have dealers. And I think that's a big part of why it's important for us to partner with an organization like Special Olympics.
I actually own a Kia, and I love it so much, and this just makes me love it even more.
2, 3, TFC!
We're actually in Montreal today as part of the Play Unified program. We had a 2-2 tie. It was fantastic. It allows our athletes to continue the message of acceptance and inclusion, and couldn't have had a better day.
They have big hearts and they have big dreams, just like anybody else. And you know, it's to be a part of something like this and to support their dreams and support this opportunity that they have in front of them. To be a part of it, to fulfill those opportunities and fulfill those dreams, it's amazing.
And now, let me introduce the 12-player roster representing your Toronto FC. Number 1, Kufuan Raghalayam.
We did something similar at the end of July with Toronto FC. It's all about that opportunity to continue spreading that message. It allows us to speak to a different demographic than we might not normally do, and it's all positive at the end of the day.
I would like to thank Kia for supporting us, supporting our team. And make your dreams come true.
fans were great. I mean, everybody cheered. They were on their feet. It's really about society changing their image of athletes like this. That these athletes can do just as much as anybody else. They participate in sport. They do a wonderful job competing, and they're passionate. And I think that's what's most important. So when you do good things, you feel good. It makes for a good day.
He spent 3-4 weeks in Edmonton Hospital at the U of A after he was born prematurely, 5 weeks, with a diagnosis of cerebral palsy and an intellectual disability as a consequence of that, with the prognosis of not being very, very good for long terms, not expecting him to walk, talk, or have any positive outcome. He's a very easygoing young man. He's very open and willing to do new things, participate with a lot of enthusiasm. He lives on his own in subsidized housing in Vernon, about 4 kilometers from our house. So we see him on a regular basis, and he just looked euphoric. And I got a little bit emotional, knowing that he'd come so far from being a mere 10 years old and learning to stand up and ski to skiing on the world stage. It was pretty spectacular.
Now for the Canadian fans, Justin Siegel. Go Justin, go!
Oh, I just want to thank Canada. I want to thank all of the volunteers, the coaches, the mission staff, and anyone who has done anything for Special Olympics, however big or however small, to present these opportunities for not only our son, Justin, but for other athletes. I want to thank them with all my heart.